live in the dungeon. This is the Dream Warrior Review. I'm Kurt Thomas.
I'm Miq Strawn.
We were talking about your co-host on Rabbit Hole.
TJ, right?
TJ. And how he knows stories, because he's listened to our show for years.
Right.
For 2 years.
2 years, right.
And that he calls you out on some things and he trips you up on stories.
Well, he just trips me up because he says, well, what about this and this?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden my memory has to come back and come into line for that. And then you said...
I said that sometimes if I hear the same story more than once, I'm on to the second or third time I've heard the story.
Right.
You're very consistent. So you're either they're either really true or you're a really awesome liar and a terrible person.
Well, I don't know if this has anything to do with whether I'm a terrible person or not, because I am a terrible person. But the funny thing is I was going to tell you the story about me taking my daughter to college.
Storytime. Storytime with Miq. 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 Storytime with Miq.
You know, and she went to UCLA. Now UCLA has a lot of really moneyed people in it, but she got a full ride because it was getting towards the end of my career, and I didn't have that much money coming in right at the point when she was going to college, and so she got a full ride, all on her own, you know. And but she said it was so I would take her. She'd come down to the house for weekends, right, and then I'd take her back to her dorm, and she'd stay there for a few days and then come back, and so I. Probably getting up into the last couple weeks or so of school, and she was saying how it was so funny that the stories that she heard from people about their parents had changed over the year.
Right. Right.
As these wealthier people had developed more eccentric parents,
to make it more interesting.
Embellish
a little bit.
And she says, she starts cracking up as she's telling me the story of these other people. And she says, this is great because I don't have to do that at all. Everybody has been riveted about your stories from the beginning.
Right.
And still to this day.
Right. Yeah, well, I kind of feel the same way about my parents. I mean, my dad always played pranks on us and did, he was definitely a kid. He still is.
Yeah.
He's still a 15-year-old at heart, really.
Oh, so am I, and the funny thing is, and I've said this before, that you have to open yourself up to the weird of the day.
Sure.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean, really, you.
But you also have to care what people think. I'm definitely not one of those people.
Yeah, you're not.
I could care less what people think about me or
me, and that's always been me.
Yeah.
I've always been, kind of flamboyant. Actually, not in high school. I mean, up until I went through high school, I was just kind of still figuring it out. And then I got out of high school, it was like, j'accuse!
Well, I was never one of those kids that got embarrassed by my parents, or I could care less.
Right. Oh, me too.
In fact, I would try to embarrass them, probably more likely.
Exactly. So. I was. Yeah. So anyway, being that always ready to take, because every time that I had an actual stable job, immediately somebody would come along and go, well, hey, you want to do this? And by God, there, go do it.
Yeah. Well, what you should do is you should mess with TJ. So after he hears this episode on the show Rabbit Hole, ask him about the time you were telling a story about him on our Dream Warrior Review
telling us about my story from when and how that brought back another story for him. Yes. So that's meta on 4 different levels.
Yeah, right.
That's 4 metas.
Paradoxal is what that is. I don't know if I use that word properly. No, okay. But yeah, you can totally mess with him easily.
Yeah, well, that's true.
I have a feeling.
Okay, so we saw a film. We saw
Stan Helsing.
Stan Helsing. Yeah, boy. You know what? I have to say this.
I'm hoping we agree on this one because
okay.
I have a feeling we might, but if not, this might be our very last episode because I'm going to storm out of here and I'm going to
okay.
I mean, okay,
read it.
Alrighty, here we go.
A spoof on mini horror movie series. Ending his shift at a video store, Stan's picked up by his BFF and his 2 cute girls, all going to a Halloween party. Will they even get there?
I want to say something about this right at the beginning, and I think that this...
Leslie Nielsen. That's one thing I have to say. But go ahead.
Let's see.
What's the one thing? He's in this one. I just had to point that out.
Yeah, okay. It was so bad that it hardly even... It was just odd that Leslie Nielsen was in it. So bad. Wait. Here we go. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I just said, so bad.
So bad.
I wrote that on this piece of paper.
So bad. Here's the thing that I was thinking to myself. I was thinking, I have been working on Vengeance, right? Yeah. And you're down there and you're working with me, right? And we're working on Vengeance, and we were trying so hard to be so good at it. And we did a great job, right? And you see Vengeance and you go, we spent $50,000 on that,
right.
And whatever this piece of crap was.
Oh, it was probably a big budget, probably.
It wasn't.
Well, in comparison, I'm saying. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me is it's listed as a Russian film here.
Yeah, so. I'm not going to put. I'm going to say that they didn't put more than $700,000 into this.
But I guess if you look at the cast and the people that worked on it, it was a lot more like people that had been in the industry a lot longer.
Right. But it was terrible. Yeah. It was so terrible.
Actually, the one thought I had was
the camera work was just.
It was awful.
It was just
the
terrible.
Acting was bad. The script was bad.
And did you notice
camera work was bad. The comedic timing was awful.
The comedian was
Thompson,
so flat.
I usually like him. What the heck?
That's right. Oh, man.
And you can tell some of the jokes were kind of written by him because they were his kind of sense of humor.
They were in his line.
In his wheelhouse, kind of.
Oh, yeah, but boy. Oh, man. It was very hard to get through.
Well, my second thought after So Bad was... even if I didn't use my brain and my head was full of rocks, this would still suck.
I did want to point out one thing, though. One thing is there is a point in here where Freddy is badly imitated. By the way, this was 2010.
Oh, God.
2010 or 2009. But here's the funny thing about it. Did you notice when he had his claws up? Did you notice which glove it was? It was the dentist glove.
Oh, okay.
Literally, it was like, I looked at it and I went, oh my God, that's something that was literally on my drawing. I drew that. I conceived that glove and I drew it. And I looked at it and went, oh my God, he's got a really bad copy of it.
Well, they're obviously fans.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
To try to make a spoof of this.
Right, exactly.
I do like a couple things.
Yeah.
And it's only going to take me 5 seconds to really mention everything I liked about this. I like there's one video where they showed it was kind of an old video from the 30s. Where they showed the women jumping up and down and the farting noises.
Right. Nice flashback, right? Yes, the flashbacks. Yeah. The flashbacks were actually pretty good.
That was pretty awesome.
They were so much higher quality.
And that was from the 30s or 20s or something. It was like a long time ago, that one video.
But every once in a while I had jokes that just went nowhere. The vagina joke.
Yeah. That was weird.
I mean, it was weird. I mean, just...
The cockroach was a little odd. I don't know.
The Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire. Come on. But you know what? I just want to make one shout out of props to somebody on this film. The priest. The guy who played the priest was... He actually kind of stretched it and did a good job, as good as he could do with the flat everything. he did a pretty good job.
He actually belongs like in Ginger Dead Man, like
right, exactly.
That's kind of the way he played it.
The quality, the quality.
No, I'm talking about where you take something and you stretch it to make it
right.
Like, the first Ginger Dead Man definitely did that in a lot of different ways.
Absolutely.
Not to knock Bill Butler, William Butler,
right.
I did. The other thing I liked was how to defeat these monsters. I mean, the pinhead, you just push the pins in and he deflates. I mean, that's pretty funny.
Oh, they were,
I mean, that's pretty funny in a way.
It was.
And then, like, you just take Freddy's glove away.
Yeah,
I mean, that's all you gotta do.
And I love it when they're defeated, they just walked out the door.
Yeah.
You know.
And Chucky. Oh, you're a doll.
Yeah.
He was immediately
you're a doll,
defeated.
And he just throws him across
had the look
the room.
of defeat on his face.
Well, you know, sort of like that, sort of like the monster in the hidden.
Yeah.
Oh, why didn't you just get up and step on it?
Okay, so I do have one thing to say to everybody all the dumb out there who think they can write screenplays. You actually have some hope here because this made it.
Right.
So there you go.
Exactly. You know, that's what I was.
I like how you had no idea where I was going with that.
Yeah, I didn't. You was scaring me there. The thing is this was just a bad group of filmmakers. Yeah. I mean, they just didn't do anything well in this, and it just kind of surprised me. And Leslie Nielsen didn't even seem like Leslie Nielsen. No. I was like, holy.
It's kind of phoning it in a little bit.
Well, but not only that is they didn't write him any lines at all that were related to his type of humor.
Well, they probably didn't let him have any freedom. Like, he probably could have come up with some better stuff, probably, if he would have just done it on his own.
Right.
I would think.
But
I don't know.
Just it as bad as it gets. And I have to say that I am going to go down to a 0.5. To me, it was that bad. It was a 0.5.
I want to give it an even worse rating. I want to give it 0.4.
You know what? I have been on very few films that were like that. I don't think I've ever been on a film that was that bad.
What's crazy is, like, you could have a movie that's really bad. I mean, even unintentionally bad.
Right. Oh, yeah,
but it would still be entertaining, like...
Right. No, but this was just flat.
Yeah.
The jokes and stuff, everything. You are right about the timing.
Yeah.
There was no timing to anything in it. You know, it just went.
That one joke with the flames and the girls dancing.
Right.
That had some good timing to it because it was quick and it was over and it was like the way they worked it in really fast.
Right. It had snap to it.
Yeah.
None of the jokes had snap except for like a couple. Yeah. I mean, everything out there was just falling. Just.
I wonder if they partied too much. Or they had too much fun on the set, you know what I mean?
Yeah, fun, yeah.
Well, maybe they thought, this is the funniest thing ever. Like, you know, kind of like where you get an inside group of people and you think everything's hilarious. And
yeah. And you smoke a lot together.
And then when you show people what you've created, they're like,
It's like, here, have another hit off the nitrous tank. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Like, you know, the Michael Jackson scene. They probably thought that was hilarious.
Oh, God, that was hard. Yeah, but the thing is there's something where it's got to be bad in the right way, not bad in that way where you're looking around just embarrassed that you watched it with these other people. It's like, who's going to leave first?
I would have been pissed if I saw this in the theater when it came out. I would have had to ask my money back.
It would have been very bad. So, no, there's no redemption for this film. Don't do it.
No, and actually, I kind of like Leslie Nielsen. Like, we're talking about later, I guess, when he got a little older. I think he's still making movies now.
Right.
I just haven't seen him since, like, Mr. Magoo, I think was the last one I remember.
I think he's dead.
Is he dead?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there we go.
You know, you'd have to look it up.
Oh, yeah, he is dead. Well, there we go. Yeah, 2010.
I was going to say, you know, he hasn't made a good film in a long time. So this was
one of his last movies then.
Really? It must have been because it was 2009.
But I did like the vampire one. I kind of thought that was pretty funny. What was that called? That's probably way back before Scary Movie.
I was going to say, that's way back.
So Scary Movie, he was in Scary Movie 3.
Wasn't this made by some of the same producers from Scary Movie? There was something about that.
There was a connection, I think. I don't know what it is, though.
He might have been the connection.
Maybe.
Yeah, anyway.
But it was like, if you look at Scary Movie 3, that's a good spoof. Even Scary Movie 3, when you get up to that, it's still good.
Right. Oh, no. This was just terrible from the moment it started. You just like was. Yeah. Oh,
and I was really disappointed in Keenan in this one. Which normally he makes me laugh, and I find him pretty entertaining on Saturday Night Live. But I mean, I like his sensibility, kind of the way he. Even though it's kind of corny sometimes.
I think that he is.
He has a kind of a corny way that I like. It's weird. I mean, it's hard to explain.
He is actually
his facial expressions.
He has kept. He's been the Rock of Saturday Night Live for like 18 years or something.
I feel like they almost expected him to carry this a little bit, and there was nothing to carry.
Yeah,
it was like an empty backpack.
Yeah, and that was the script.
Yeah, they lost the script.
Yeah. Hey, what's that? You smell that? Oh my God, it's the script.
Well, Leslie Nielsen probably lost his sense of smell by that point. So.
Yeah, it's true.
He's like, oh, this looks great.
Wheeled onto the set at that point. Yeah. Oh, it was terrible.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the lowest rated one we've ever had. I don't think we've ever gone below.
No. That is honestly one of the worst.
I feel like I'm being generous giving a 0.4. Yeah. But that's just because the girls were, they're kind of cute. I'll give them that.
Yeah. So we're going to take a week off. Mm-hmm. Just putting that out there for the world.
Yeah, don't freak out, everybody.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We have some episodes in the bag.
Oh, so it'll almost seem like we're not here.
We're kind of taking a week off from the new releases is kind of what we're talking about here.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But September, though, we have It.
We have It coming. We're going to come roaring back with It.
In fact, that would be a good episode coming back in our new format kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is not weird to say new format because it's not really.
It's just going to be.
Just different locations.
My voice might be a little different. That's all.
Right. It's not really far away.
In fact,
we should use that effect where it sounds like you're like
fading every once in a while, just fading back. Yeah, it's true.
It would sound too much like a David Lynch movie, kind of probably. Like David Lynch.
I'm gonna have to get the rats. The rat on Facebook.
Well, he has some cousins down there.
He
told me he has family over there.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wife beaters, little teeny tiny wife beaters, that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, so he'll probably come to visit once in a while.
The country rat. Little country rat.
He does walk around saying that. He's like,
I'm country, bitch.
He says that a lot. That's like one of his catchphrases.
It's bad enough having a rat around, but having a rat around that goes, I'm country, bitch. Is rough.
Well, you remember when we first moved into the dungeon, we had a very tenuous relationship. He didn't really like us.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he's warmed up to us a lot. He had
chewed on my foot.
He had no self-esteem till we met him. So now he's walking around saying.
I personally think that our mutual relationship has brought him out of his shell.
Yeah. Well, now he owns a hat store.
Well,
not haberdashery. I should correct myself.
Ratadashery.
He has other things in there.
He has a ratadashery.
He has little tiny ties and he has little tiny buttons and other things that go along.
Because
and now he's walking around saying,
I'm country, bitch.
He is a well-dressed rat.
He is. I didn't know rats could use canes, but that's just for flash.
It's that southern thing that he does. Yeah. So
it's kind of like P. Diddy. Have you noticed how sometimes when you talk to him, he just kind of looks at his phone like he's not interested? That's like a P. Diddy move right there. Totally.
That's the only way he ever. I can be looking at him and then we have to talk by text.
Oh, okay.
It's
that's
like
weird.
I'm looking right at you, you little rat.
He'll talk to me, but I think it's because I spend more time in here.
Well, that's true. It is your dungeon.
The only thing I get pissed off is sometimes he tries to give me advice, like, "Oh, I think you should cut what Mick said right there." But he says it a lot.
Oh,
I'm like,
really?
I think you just don't like Mick.
I bet.
So that's I'm just putting it out there. There might.
You little. I think that there's been enough of this.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, bye.
Thanks for joining us on the Dream Warrior Review podcast. Don't forget to tell your friends about us, follow us, and, of course, like us. We can be found on Podbean, which is an amazing app, YouTube, Stitcher, Alexa on any pod, iTunes, Google Play. We're on Twitter as well, at DW Review, and, of course, Facebook. You can find us there. You can also email us at dreamwarriorreview@gmail.com.